What is up, everybody? Trickster here, and we are back in Everlasting Summer. And let's see where the fuck this game takes us. In a couple of minutes, I was standing at the bus stop with all the other pioneers. Everybody's here? Began Olga. You're leaving our camp today, and I'd like to tell you something in parting. She was visibly nervous and desperately lost for words. I hope that you'll remember the time you've spent here for a lifetime, and that you'll retain our pleasant memories about Savionak. I also hope that you become a little bit better, managed to learn something, and found new friends. Just come back next year. The camp leader looked away. It's like she was trying to keep tears inside. Didn't expect her to get so emotional. Although her speech sounded like a complete nonsense to me as usual. The pioneers started to crowd into the bus, babbling cheerfully. I decided to hold on a little bit and say a proper goodbye to this camp. All of a sudden I felt a deep urge to throw a coin. Of course, there's no fountain here, and I honestly didn't feel like returning, but it's still just a superstition, and I don't believe in them. At least, I never believed in them before. Digging through my pocket, I found a couple of candy wrappers, a pencil, and a scrap of paper. I held it for a moment, then I squatted, put the paper on the ground, and I scribbled a few words. You are here for a reason. Grinning at my stupidity, I threw the paper under the wheel of the bus and got into the cabin. I found a place in the middle. But the strangest thing was that everyone sat in pairs and only I was alone. However, what's the difference now? I'll either disappear or we'll start everything in a couple of hours. The bus was slowly moving towards the district center, occasionally bouncing over the bumps in the road. It was impossible to see anything beyond the old windows in the pitch black dark of the night. Anyway, I couldn't care less about the surrounding countryside. I just sat and waited for the inevitable. For the first time in a long while, my head was completely empty. The pioneers around me enjoyed the trip. Yulana and Alyssa were playing cards. Linda was reading a book, and Slavia was sleeping. Miku was trying in vain to start a conversation with Zina, and Zina was trying really hard not to start killing people. Electric and Shurik were crafting something as always. I was the only one completely ignored by everyone. It might be a slight far-fetched perception. I got used to the role of being the center of the universe in the camp. I thought that everything revolved around me. Well, that might be so up to a certain degree, but here and now I'm only a foreign object, an out-of-place molecule in the harmonic pattern of a crystal grid. I'm not sure how long we spent on the road, but sleep had already started to overcome me. I was desperately fighting Morpheus, trying to stay awake as long as I could. After all, it's quite possible that today is the last day of my life. And probably it's reasonable to cling as hard as I could to the last few hours of meaningless, useless existence. I suddenly remembered that scrap of paper and the few words on it. Damn it! I've seen them before! How could I be so ignorant? Maybe all these pioneers, all this gobbledygook clouded my consciousness so much. My head was literally bursting with questions. However, physical fatigue and, more importantly, emotional fatigue took its toll, and I fell asleep. Day ... Oh, that's encouraging. A sharp pain throbbed through my entire body. I feel like especially sharp in my temples. It feels like they're ready to shatter into 1,000 little pieces, giving the wind free access to my empty head. Probably I would not have been able to stand even 5 minutes of such torture if I hadn't opened my eyes in time. I was somewhere. It's impossible to tell precisely where. My mind was clouded in mist. My thoughts were confused. The moment between the unconsciousness and the conscious states when you vividly remember your dreams. I was going somewhere by a bus, and I was about to doze off when suddenly a girl came up to me and began to speak quickly. I couldn't understand a word, but the girl looked very upset. I failed to understand what she needed from me. Time passed, and she kept talking on and on. It was getting really annoying. I wanted to ask her to cut it out, or at least calm down a bit, but I failed. either because I didn't manage to say anything or because my words didn't reach her. I couldn't even see her face. It was simply lightning, listening and staring and listening. Perhaps it was important for me then. Surely you would not try to remember what a mosquito disturbing your sleep looks like. Surely you wouldn't manage to recall the frequency of its flapping wings or the inclination of its proboscis after that. And this girl is just one of millions of voices that disturbed you from concentrating, from thinking, from falling asleep. The louder her voice grew, the harder it got for me to catch her words. The bus cabin, the seats one by time, the uneven floor, the rusty ceiling, the cracked glass of the windshield, everything was floating away, along with her. And then I felt a unique sense of relief. It didn't matter how real the bus and the girl had been, it was nothing but a bug to me. And here I am, hanging in total emptiness and falling inside a dream. Wow, dreams can be really something. Not quite a nightmare, but yet definitely not something pleasant. I got up, rubbed my face to go back to reality, gave a loud yawn, and prepared to clean myself up. It was really a gray morning. Unable to find my hygiene kit on the nightstand, I concluded I couldn't manage without it. It was hard to get dressed. My hands were trembling like hell. I looked at my reflection in the mirror and checked my 2-week stubble. Well, perhaps Olga has a razor. Wait, what? It was only when I went outside that suddenly understood that I'm not in the pioneer camp. I'm back in my apartment. I've just come out of my room into a passageway, and not out of the cabin. I was overwhelmed with surprise, with dismay, with fear, even with terror. But how? I sat down on the bed and buried my face in my hands, trying to remember the chain of yesterday's events. Yeah, the bus, the last day of the term. Yes, I fell asleep. I woke up back home. Well, to some degree, it might even seem quite logical. It seemed that the initial astonishment has worn off during the first few seconds. After all, the fact that I came back like this after a week-long absence is no stranger than my sudden appearance in some pioneer camp of the 80s in the first place. The events of the last 2 days flashed before my eyes in an instant. That mysterious pioneer, his words. But how did I manage to get back to reality then? According to him, I was going to be stuck there forever, as there's no exit. On the other hand, I wasn't alone. The pioneer at the bus stop and the mysterious voice emphasized the contrary, that the exit exists. Does that mean I found it? I managed to get out of the endless loop? But how? Nevertheless, I wasn't sure whether I should rejoice or grieve over the last week. I kind of got used to the everlasting inner monologue, the search for answers and the in-depth analysis of everything. So I simply couldn't accept this fact as it was, without figuring out what exactly happened to me. Sure, he told me that I'm the only one who had observed the existence of other guys like me during their very first loop. But does that mean anything? Anyway, all his theories and ideas instantly collapsed like a house of cards. Now I had to decide how I should react. Of course, I should rejoice. After all, I'm back to the real world. Maybe the last 7 days were just a dream. Indeed, there's absolutely no evidence that I was really there. I don't see my pioneer uniform anywhere. I look my age, just as like I did before. My phone is on the table, fully charged. But one can't deceive one's own memory. One can't live through such terrifying, terrifically real experiences in a dream. I still remember the events of the whole week in a great detail. Perhaps I was in a coma all this time? An ironic laugh escaped my lips. Nah, that's not an option either. Then all's well that ends well? The last few hours in the camp flashed through my mind. Indeed, I wasn't helping to get out, either from the camp or from that reality. I was just pretty much ready for another week, and another one. I accepted my role. I reconciled with my destiny. And what was I supposed to do after all the stuff that happened? I heaved a doomed sigh, got up from my bed, and with considerable effort, I went to my computer. That's weird, but according to it, only 14 hours have passed since my disappearance from this world, not a whole week. A new message in the instant messenger. Hi, Simone. Yesterday was legendary. Call you later. My college friend. It was him who invited me to a party with the rest of his college friends that I was going to attend. Suddenly, all my senses came back to me. The headache, the dizziness, all the symptoms of a hangover. It looks like I was indeed attended the party yesterday, and I was partying hard. So there was no pioneer camp. But then, Where did all these memories, emotions, and feelings come from? All this was so incomprehensible that I became enraged. I began cursing foully, trying to tear my hair out, hammering on the keyboard with my fist. I didn't return to a normal state until there was no keys left on it. Why should I care so much? Nobody worries when a dream or hallucination ends. Moreover, people are usually glad that it happens. Was I really that prepared to stay there that my return to reality became so undesirable for me? Then a simple and obvious thought crossed my mind. Perhaps I'm just going insane. Indeed, madmen frequently have visions which they perceive as reality. Besides, I had all the symptoms of insanity. I never leave the four walls of my prison. I never socialize. I have lots of psychological problems. Well, that explains a lot. My dark, nervous laughter echoed in the room. Guess it was right. It's the right time for me to visit a therapist, or rather, a psychiatrist. Or should I just surrender myself to this asylum? Simeon, a horse, half my kingdom for a horse. I cried at the top of my lungs between bouts of manic laughter. Simeon, dispute not with her. She is a lunatic. The racket of my neighbor made on the wall calmed me down somehow. If I'm tripping that bad, it looks like if only a lobotomy could help me. I just got completely freaked out for several hours, doing nothing, thinking nothing, just staring at the monitor, long since gone into sleep mode. Finally, I moved the mouse and opened a few tabs in the browser. What's new? F5! As if the events of the past week never happened. Come on, do you have a degree for a hallucination? Was it real? Sure, lots of memories. Sure. Looks true enough? By all means, yes. Any proof? Nope. The verdict is clear, as is my future course. I have long suspected that my current lifestyle wouldn't do me any good. I wasn't ready for such an unusual event. But so what? I'll have to be more prepared for my next trip. Night. An endless stream of threads and images took my mind off the limitations and considerations. An instant message window popped up most unexpectedly. Hi, how are you doing? Sure, quite an original way to start a conversation. Doing fine. Contact's profile was completely empty, not even a nickname. Just a 9-digit number. You can't guess what kind of person is on the other end just by looking at a number, can you? Sure, someday it'd be all different. Unified digital identifiers instead of names, a couple of symbols for a biography, several bytes of personality, and 3.5 bits of feelings. Get home safely? Probably someone from yesterday's party. Seems like it. You do remember everything I told you yesterday, right? Well, I guess not. There was yet another message long after long pause. I see. Honestly, I don't give a damn who this is and why he's messaging me. Until this identified individual starts harassing me, I could easily tolerate his presence in my contact list. Well, that's okay. We'll meet again. We surely will. Sure look forward to it, yeah. Alright, bye. I didn't reply. This odd, screwed up day, at last, was slowly coming to an end. Going to bed, I yet again recalled in my head all the events that seemed so real for me. Where am I going to wake up tomorrow? Will these hallucinations return? Nah, I'll probably just forget everything. Strange, but now I'm really feeling like everything happened now is real. There was a fiction, a game of deformed imagination, or really something fantastical, and here is reality. Sometimes inconvenient, sometimes it unfolds differently from how you wished. It surprises you like this, but it's still reality. I fell asleep with these thoughts. Bit by bit, my life resumed its normal course, and I started to forget the events of the week. After all, nothing bad happened. Even if it was indeed real, who cares? That was only 7 days in a pioneer camp. I wasn't killed. Nobody kidnapped me to conduct experiments. I wasn't brainwashed, so why do I care about the reason? And if indeed it was a hallucination, I can only hope that it won't repeat itself. Ha 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 ha. I was still shut-in. My computer and the internet were my only friends, and the keyboard was the only communication channel connecting me to the outside world. The F5 key became the main thing in my life again. Come to think of it, it really wasn't all that bad. Yet one day, a familiar combination of digits popped up on my screen. A strange contact of mine had come online once again. Hey! Hey! How are you doing? Doing fine. Probably I knew him from somewhere, but who cares anyway? Any news? Not really. Stability is a sign of true class. One might say so. Oh, I see. The conversation was over for me, but it didn't seem to feel like that. So nothing has changed? No. Should it have? Well, it's not like you experience stuff like that on a day-to-day basis. Not everyone gets to experience it either. What are you talking about? Don't you get it? I was starting to. I prefer you explain. Don't you remember the camp? It felt like an electric shock. All the events of that week immediately sprang into my mind. My hands started to tremble. A cold sweat burst from my forehead. I turned around in horror, already imagining that I'd see aliens, ghosts, or the Grim Reaper. But there was nobody in my room except me, as always. I ran to the corridor, checked in the kitchen and in the bathroom. Still nobody. At last, I returned to the computer. The same message window was still flashing steadily, as if a perfectly ordinary message. Who are you? My hands were trembling as much as I could hardly hit the right keys. Oh, so you do remember it. My hallucinations seem to be continuing? Or did I never leave the camp in the first place? Or it's all just a dream after all? Or I don't know what to say. I mean sincerely. Anyhow, I feel like this entity, that's the only definition I could think of, doesn't need any kind of internet to communicate with me. Well, you just keep silent. Everything's perfectly clear. The smiley at the end of the line, like the devil himself, stretching its deformed jaw to devour me. What is happening to me? And I finally made up my mind to ask the question. Nothing at all. You're just living your regular life. But the camp, it was real? And what do you think? I'm not sure. If it seemed real to you, yes, it was real. If not, then it wasn't. It's just that simple. That's not simple at all! What'll happen to me next? I whispered. Nothing to worry about. It seems that it really can hear me without the use of internet. Terror chained my whole body. I closed my eyes and curled myself into a ball. Why? Why are you doing this to me? I started to lose it. Words are coming out of my mouth by themselves. Illogical, meaningless sets of words. Why me? What for? What for? Leave me alone. I haven't done anything bad. Several minutes after I found the courage to open my eyes, I take a look at the monitor. You are the reason for everything. The message window had flickered coldly. And what's next? Oh, you'll see that soon enough. Oh, fuck's sake. Everything started fading back to black in my eyes. Noise filled my ears, and I started to feel dizzy. I felt that my very soul was escaping its physical shell. The events of the last few days became hazy, as if they all happened to someone other than me. Then the memories of the camp started to vanish, as if somebody was using an eraser to thoroughly rub out words written with a pencil. Moments later, I felt a sense of nothing, as though I was plunged into a state of cosmic bliss. If anyone saw me at the moment, they would notice I was smiling. I'm kinda stuck here. I hit the report Spain button, closed the window, and switched to the browser and glanced at the clock. Time to go back. Time to get going or I'll be late. What? Forever alone. Oh, that was the good end? Every story has its beginning and end. Every story has its own outline, synopsis, contents, key points, and prologue, and an epilogue. And there is no book which, if you read it again, would not reveal new details you did not notice before. Every story has its beginning and its end. Almost every. Hey, more pretty pictures! Yay! Oh, yeah, I got the good ending! Well, that was kind of a letdown. I was kind of expecting more mystery to figure out, how the hell to get out of there. Problem solving. Instead, it was just... it was kind of suspenseful, but kind of wasn't. I don't know. I guess because I said to be a dick all the time, I didn't really, do anything. I don't know, do y'all think I should play again and see if I could get I don't know, I still got the good ending, but you think I could have, made better friends with one of these fictional ladies, even though it wouldn't have made a difference because they're fake? I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. It was still a pretty game. It's just... It was alright. I liked it, I guess. Oh. Well, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Wait. What's this? So these are the most important pictures. I guess I'm missing pictures. Okay, what was this? That was terrifying! Oh, there's multiple endings. Holy crap. How many endings are there? Oh, these are achievements. So, I didn't get any... Look at the Forever Alone and the Epic Fail. I'll see if I don't know. Do you think I should try to get more achievements? Just let me know in the comment section. Bye-bye.